Verizon debit cards, MasterCards in November. The launch will be global, but it will first positively impact the UK users. So it'll be rolled out in the UK first of all, followed by other countries, so Europe, America, Canada, etc., Australia. All right. So as I understand, at this moment in time, we are just about to enter a testing phase. So those of you on the call that did have the Visa card, you may be called to actually, go ahead and actually get yourself a debit card. But again, that will be shared when we have that information. At the moment, there is a fix being applied to the site. So on the myverizoncards.com site, you can just create an account. Yeah, so you can't actually go ahead and do your KYC. There's a fix that's being applied, so we're getting that rectified. But again, it is about to go into testing, and when that happens, obviously post positive testing, that card will be available for use. So the first phase of the debit card rollout, and there's three distinct phases. When the first part rolls out, the IBANs will be applied. An IBAN is an international bank account number. So those of you in the UK, for example, that have debit cards, you'll have an IBAN. Basically, the IBAN is recognised more so abroad, because if you go abroad and you were sending money to and from abroad, they'll need your IBAN to really verify, authenticate your account. So the first phase of the Verizon debit card, MasterCard rollout is in the UK, and that will involve the IBAN being delivered, and that will allow us to do our normal banking. So those of you in the UK will know usual banking would involve just normal transactions, everyday transactions, and everyday billing, setting up direct debits, etc. Okay, that'll be phase one. Phase two, I believe it will be 3 to 4 weeks later, is the ability to actually order a physical Verizon debit MasterCard. That'd be phase two. And then phase three would be the virtual card. All right, so it involves those stages. Stage one is definitely going to happen first. Phase two and three may happen quite quickly together. So we'll see that happen, hopefully in the coming weeks. All right. So again, at this moment in time, if you do go to myverizoncard.com, you can just sign up to that and then pause. Just hold. All right. Verizon Pay, again, part of the software application ecosystem, is a way businesses can actually save money because they, if they take payment by debit card or credit card, by using Verizon Pay, we can offer them a more cost-effective solution. But more importantly, what's exclusive to what Verizon Pay offer, they can get 27% cash back. What that means ultimately is, if you see that Verizon is the banking entity, notice I've said banking entity. They are a fintech. Yeah, they're not a fully fledged bank yet. There's a process for that. Okay, but they're a fintech, but they are a banking entity. What that means is, for every £100 that Verizon make from that processor for a company, okay, £27 in every £100 will go back to that company, which is massive. So as I mentioned before, with no extra customers, no increase in price of products, no increase in sales of products, they'll just simply make that 27% back. Also, we have access to over 250 merchant processors. So as part of the process, they can get themselves a free quote. Once they have that, then Verizon can assign an appropriate processor, and then they go on from there to actually do a fully fledged application. And once they're assigned that processor, which will be the best on the market. For those of you in the UK, again, I don't want to be too UK focused, but a site called Compare the Market is where you can get a lot of different companies that we will do the hard work to find out what's best for you and your business and how it works. Assign the right processor, and once they're engaged with that merchant, they will make some savings. But also, again, over and above all that, they'll get that 27% back, cash back to their business every single month. Very exciting. Verizon Pay businesses, or those of you that are knowing businesses, I'm sure many of us know businesses, that's a great product to share. Verizon X. Now, Verizon X is our crypto wallet. That's very much embedded within our infinitymall.io site. Okay, so it's like an embedded crypto element where you can send in crypto tokens, coins, etc., on that site, and you can have it as a store within your unique wallets. All right. Just going down. I want to just give you a flavor of this site. You need to go over it in your own time. Okay, so here's the founders. I'm looking forward to them joining the call, and I'm sure Steph will let me know whether John and Amanda have joined this meeting today. Here's a bit of background about Amanda Joseph and John Bennett, okay, co-founders in Morizen. It is great to hear from them as individuals. They've got great history in business and have done amazingly well to get this far to build a compliant financial technology platform. All right, so you can read through a bit of their background. So their shared vision. So together, Amanda and John are shaping more than a company. They're advancing a global movement built on accountability, access, and innovation. Morizen's vision is to prove that financial technology can be both compliant and compassionate, and that's very important, using real-world transactions to strengthen communities rather than exploit them. Their shared goal is to build an ecosystem where every swipe, transfer, or account action creates measurable benefit, empowering local economies, supporting infrastructure, and funding education and healthcare in the places that need it most. Through this model, they aim to redefine what financial systems can achieve when purpose and profit work together toward genuine, sustainable change. Okay, here's where you all need to make a note. You can see there's meetings that take place both Wednesday and Thursday. Let's have a look down to November, which is great. So everyone can be comforted to know that in November, we have our sessions each and every Wednesday. So you got Wednesday here and here and here. And on a Thursday, myself and Steph run a sign-up class. The sign-up class really is to give people some extra detail based on questions they have, having reviewed the various sites that Morizen offer in terms of property and systems and software, so that we're there to answer questions, okay? And just to make it clear, in those meetings, people may bring up they've got a challenge getting to a certain site, or they've got to adjust the amount of tokens. I had some people ask about tokens. We have an exciting product, Infinity Tokens, again, and there's questions about that. Now, it's not a call to sort out what I would call issues. It's not an issue resolution call, but we will direct you to the right site. And quite simply, there is a site that you can go to, and again, Steph will put it in the chat for me, theinfinitymall.com. Or the Morizen Hub. They both have their independent support centers where you can go ahead, create an account, and put in your question. And that way we consolidate all the questions in one area. It's all tracked and traced, and you'll get an answer. All right. So tomorrow is very much to help you dive deeper into the products that we show and offer, and give you solutions and help you guys move forward. Okay. So if you do have questions about a particular circumstance, please send those questions through via the two separate support channels we have on Morizen Hub and infinitymall.io. All right. We've got a few valued partners. Now, Optimus is the partnering bank. And just a bit of history. When a fintech is created, they do align with an established bank. In layman terms, a bank normally shoulders with a fintech to work with them side by side. So this is our chosen banking entity. They were one of 8 that approached Morizen. So Morizen had great demonstrable history about what they were doing, such that 8 banks were obviously approaching them. I say obviously, but they were approaching them to align with them. And they chose, after some time and due diligence from the owner's side and their legal team, they chose Optimus. And then there's reasons for that as well in terms of their scalability, and also the fact that they're open to tokenization and the crypto element as well, which is really getting more and more prevalent around the world. Many years ago, the word crypto was a brand new thing. And with brand new things, I suppose the trust factor was low. But I'm just to give you an example, I'm in the football game in a big way, and I went to see Spurs v Man United on the weekend, and to see Kraken along the base of Tottenham's ground and around the sort of advertising boards. It just reminded me that Kraken wasn't established, you know, back 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 years ago, but they're well established now, and obviously football clubs are gaining sponsorship through them as well. Another notable exchange is, I'll get this right, I think it's OKX, which do sponsor Man City, but Man City is not a great team. Anyway, let me move on. That's the Optimus card. Let me go next. Pearl Property Stages is a company that will offer services to basically kit out someone's house. We have 3 projects, and they're all in Africa. We are building various property developments, and we need a company to work with to actually fill the house with curtains and settees and just all this inserts into a home. Now, that property could be yours that you may live in, that you may go for a couple of weeks, or you may rent it out permanently. So you may have an international investment all the way in Africa, and it'll be looked after obviously by Horizon. We have a Horizon travel company, but also Pearl Property Stages can actually help you get your house looking the way you want it to. Yeah, so there'll be levels. You know, do you want it to have high quality, accessible quality, or medium range? So there'll be something for everybody there, and Pearl Property Stages will actually kit out your house for you, potentially while you're away, or with working with you based on your needs. All right. TFSF, again, many on the call will know of TFSF Ventures. They're our key technology partner, led by Stephen Foster, who's been on these calls several times. And he's normally here to give us that update on the cards and the various products like Horizon Pay as well. So what I would say at the moment in time, let me just check my notes. That's great. So he gave an update last week in terms of the mall. We have that Infinity Mall and the ticketing system all launched now, and it's working very, very well. It's great to say that myself, as someone that's working with Horizon, but it's also great to hear back from users that are using the site, and their feedback is great in terms of the ticketing system as well, and getting their answers, answered quite quickly. So I'm just checking my notes for any other highlighted updates. So again, TFSF very much ingrained and working with Horizon, and they've got a strong relationship with this company to help us on our software applications. Neotech Africa. So Neotech Africa are a company that the owners have aligned with, and I believe they're still in negotiation, because Neotech Africa have already deployed their apartments in Gambia. So meetings have been taking place to work with them, because they've already established and sold hundreds of apartments in Gambia. So it's great that Horizon are looking to align with them. Sometimes you can learn from wisdom rather than experience. So they would have walked that path to create those apartments in Africa. So we are working closely with them, and potentially they'll be our chosen developers to build our properties in the Gambia region. Okay, so there'll be more partners to come, and when they do come, they'll be added to this site. You heard me mention this 27%, and it does run through a fair few of our products, but very much Horizon are about profit sharing. There is, if people don't know, there is plenty to go around. So Horizon want to demonstrate that by rolling out systems and offers that actually do that as well. As I mentioned with Horizon Pay, they offer that. With our community program, it works in a similar way. Simply, if communities engage with our profit sharing program, we're able to actually profit share back with that community based on their spending power. It's great that, I know football clubs that need help. I know charities that need help. There's many communities that we all know that do need help. So if we can educate them and how we can profit share, again, doing what they're doing right now, but working with a fintech like Horizon, they can offer profit sharing opportunities. It actually empowers that community, not on a one-off basis either, but continually. And then hopefully they can get more done based on the money coming back to them, and they increase profits. Seth, I just see your hand.
I was going to do that. Verizon's on. I'm not sure if it's Tara or Amanda.
Okay, thank you for doing that, because I wouldn't have seen your thumbs up. Brilliant. Okay. Well, guys, I'll run through the site. Again, there's more to be shared, and please go through that. And again, if you go through that information, maybe on Steph and I's call, we can go into some more detail about what relates to you and where you can actually engage with Verizon. Okay. Again, for me, it's information rich. So do go through it. Yeah, and it really would help you along. And what I will do, actually, no, I'm going to hand back to Verizon, because they will cover the legal parts of it, the compliance and regulation. All right. Let me stop sharing. And Steph, I'll hand over to you to introduce our speakers for today.
Hi again, everyone. Verizon team, I'm not sure if it's the whole team just now, but Verizon team has just entered the room. So I'm going to hand over the session now to Verizon, the leaders. Are you there?
Hi. You've got me. Hi, guys.
Hello.
Hi there. So as you know, John's apart, which is highly unusual. He's on his way. He's got stuck in a meeting, so he's on his way. I've just come from a funeral, so apologies for being a bit late. But yeah, I rushed back to get on this call.
Did it go okay, Amanda?
Yes, it was a lovely day. He had a really good send-off, so thank you. A really, really, really good send-off. Very, very nice. Met a lot of old faces, and yeah, it's really good. Really, really good. And the weather was good as well.
So, yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was a nice day. It was a very nice day, you know, and I don't really often say that about England, but today was actually a nice day. So yeah, that was really good. It was really good. So thank you, everybody. Thank you. Thanks, Steph, for starting the call off and keeping everybody giving them a bit of information until we got here. Really do appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you so much. Apologies for being late, as I've just said. And we welcome you all to our Wednesday update. John will be joining us shortly, as soon as he gets to a place where he can hop on to the Zoom. All right, so yeah, we've got a few bits and pieces to tell you today. Not much movement from the last time we spoke, but we're almost there now. So I'll start off with the card program. Yeah, we're almost there, just a couple more days. We've just got a few more bits to plug in, and then we'll be testing. So we're going to ask some of you original card holders to jump on board, and in the UK that is, and test for us, start using it and testing and reporting any issues that you see. So hopefully we'll be doing that within the next week or so. To get you all in and start getting this thing tested. And once we're tested and happy that it's, relatively working well for everybody, then we'll roll it out to all the other people in the UK. It'll be available for everybody. So yeah, looking forward to that. So that's where we're at with the new card program. So just to reiterate for those of you that aren't aware, we are releasing a new card program. It's in the UK only to start with, and they are IBAN accounts, so they have account numbers and sort codes, and then shortly after that we'll be releasing our MasterCard. So we're moving away from Visa over to MasterCard, and we will have virtual and physical cards available. Not sure which order they're going to come in first of all, but you'll have an option eventually for both of those. Then once we've done that, we'll be rolling out the program in the United States. So each program is going to be separate, as opposed to the global program we just were with. We're separating all the countries, and the reason for that is that if there is an issue or regulations change in a particular country, it doesn't affect everybody. The other country should still be okay, not unless it's some sort of global change that we do to the banking systems. So that way it doesn't affect everybody, and that's the main reason for doing that. Also, our partnering bank, the original one we were with, things weren't working out as well as we planned. The new regulations came in and it messed them up a bit. One of their partners, one of the major partners, is a company that provided their card services, crashed out of the market, and so that left them a bit high and dry, having to scramble around to find a replacement. And then the new regulations came out, and it meant that they lost the license with the IBANs that they did have, and then they were trying to get a new one in place. So all of these things culminated in us having a program that wasn't functioning as we would like it to. And that's why we made the decision to move over to our new partners, which is Optimus. Optimus is a sister company of one of the fourth largest crypto exchange on the planet, and that is Uphold. So that's our new partnering bank, and that's who we'll be working with in the future. So you can check out Optimus cards, you can check out Uphold, and see this is a very, very, very stable company. Uphold is worth billions, and so that's our new partners. And the good thing about that is that they are crypto friendly. Although our card program is going to be just fiat based, it means that they're not going to intervene or infringe upon you guys getting involved in any of our crypto projects as we bring them out, because they are crypto friendly on the other side, which is their Uphold side. So that's a really good plus for us. Okay. So that's the new card programs. With the old card program, for those of you that still have small amounts of funds on those cards, there is a system in place for the old partnering bank where you had to be able to withdraw. You had to have a certain amount of money on your card or in crypto, whatever it was. And so that's caused a slight problem. So what we're doing is we're just working on a way to get all those funds moved. We're almost there now. It's just to get the mechanism in place, where we'll have all the funds moved into one slush fund, and then we'll redistribute them back out to whichever account you tell us to do. Okay, so that we're almost there with a solution to get for you guys to get that moving. Okay, so those of you that had more than 100, you should have been able to have moved your funds without an issue. Right, so that's the old card program. Now, where we're at now with our new ticketing services. And actually, before I go any further, Mr. Cadet, did you run through the due diligence on the website?
No, I didn't get that far. So
okay, no problem. I'll just do that really quickly. Sure. Let me share my screen. Oh, right, it's not even open. Right, let me open it. That would help. Right, sorry guys. Right, let's just do this. Apologies, almost there. Okay. Apologies, guys. Oh. Okay, so it doesn't want to open up for me. See if that helps. No, okay. Sorry, guys.
Shall I share my screen while you talk through it?
Yeah, you can do. For some reason, it's just not opening it for me. I don't know why.
Okay.
Let's try it here. Let's see if that goes. Right, okay, that's better.
Okay.
Right, let me share my screen now. Thanks, Mr. Cadet.
No worries.
Right. Okie dokies. Right, there we go. My computer's not playing ball. Okay, guys. So if you want to know who our partner is and where our registered office is and all that lovely stuff, you can visit Verizon Hub, and there's a lot of information about what we do. The Verizon Hub is the website that you go to, and it will give you information on all the different programs that we have. So Verizon Pay, Infinity Tokens, Arena Views, Ebony Villas, Lixie Heights. You can use this website here to get to all our different programs. Okay. there's a little bit here about Optimus, who is our new partnering bank, so you can read all that sort of information. And if you go right to the bottom of this website, so that's horizonhub.com. And there we go. So here we have a bit of information how you can get in touch with us. Horizon Group, FZC, that is our Dubai entity. Okay, so we are registered in Dubai, and there's our address there. And if you go a little bit more further down, because you are UK address and our UK company number, there's our Dubai information also with our company number. And then if you go a little bit further down, oh, is it on the other side? Is it on my Horizon card? Oh, yeah, let's do that then. let's open up my Horizon card. That might help. I think they're still doing a little bit of work on the website. Right, Horizon card.com. Excellent. Right, so this is our website all around our new card programs. Okay, so you can go on here and read what our card program is all about and what Horizon is all about. Okay, there's a lot of information on this website. We'll give you all the different features here for the new card program that we're going to be releasing. Okay, so you can see all the different things that you'll be able to do with these accounts. So if you think about Monzo or Revolut, any of these apps that we use for our banking now, that's what this will be like, okay? And if you go all the way down to the bottom, lots of information, guys. Oh, have they moved it from here as well? They must be doing some work on it. Okay, well, there was information on our partnering bank. Read the legal notices, there's lots of information in there, but there normally is a disclaimer, and they must have just been moving things around. Normally you'd be able to go to the bottom of the website, guys, the footer, and it will tell you who our partnering bank is and how we're regulated. We are in a regulated space. We don't hold the license ourselves, our partnering bank does, but it still means that we are under the same regulations, okay? We are not, your money isn't insured how it would be with a bank account, but what it is much, to me, a much safer environment. What happens is that your money is held in your bank account. It's not held with Horizon, and it's not held, the money is not held with Optimus's money. It's ring fenced in a segregated bank account, almost like an escrow account that is only used for you guys' funds. So if anything were to happen, you know, to Optimus or Apple, which is very highly unlikely, your money is not touched. So you receive back 100% of your money, whereas normally insurance insures up to £85,000 of your money. So this is a much better system. Whatever you've got in there, you will get back. Okay. So so that's how you check us out. There's lots of information on here, guys. You'll see all our company licenses, you know, all the different wonderful things that that make us be able to operate our systems. Okay, right, so that's just that bit there. Now, before we go any further, we're going to make a change. Guys, Mervyn, can you just take over for 2 seconds, please? I've just got a call that I have to take. Sorry, apologies.
Yeah, no, that's fine. No problem. So let me just remind people that have just joined today and are hearing lots of information. Again, myself and Stephanie, today's co-host, we run a call on a Thursday. Again, go to horizonhub.com and basically you'll see under the events that we run a call and there'll be a link to join. In that call, we'll cover in more detail the various products and services. If we covered it today, we'll be here for about 12 hours. So basically, we'll direct you to that hub site. Do go through it, and Amanda will touch upon the housing project, and then you'll have questions. Basically, go to the sites, and it covers a lot of detail. But then tomorrow you come armed with a question that will help you move forward. So go to the Horizon Hub, and then go back to the site of interest, and then come back tomorrow. And then if you've got specific questions, again, you can use support to ask questions, but it'd be great if you join tomorrow's call and we can help you move forward and get your questions answered tomorrow. So that's every Thursday, 8:30 GMT. Myself and Stephanie will help people just move forward with demorizing interest in whatever area. And I do a focus every Thursday now on the tokens. And if you don't know what a token is or the Infinity token, again, I want to share some information tomorrow on that. And we may put a link in the chat for you. Amanda, you okay?
Excellent. Yes, I'm back.
Okay.
So yeah, we are going to make a few changes to how we operate with our Zooms. Hey.
Hey, listen, guys, I'm so sorry to crash it like this. I can't stay long. I literally just came up from CFO from the Carlos house there, getting some paperwork done and everything. So I've literally just come back here, and the place I'm at hasn't even got some Wi-Fi. I have to be using someone's hotspot, so I can't hog his phone too long. Really, really sorry, guys. I really wanted to make it in time for this meeting here to give you some updates on that. But still, it's good news all around, basically. And yeah, so no doubt, you know, we're going to be start building very, very, very soon here now. And you know, like I said, you know, I think obviously Merv and Amanda has probably updated you all with the banking stuff and you know, the token stuff already. So, but I didn't want to be rude. I was wanting to come on and say a quick hello and thank you all for attending the call today. I will be on next week fully. And like I said, it was a very, very busy day. I was driving like crazy just to kind of get back on time, but it just didn't happen. All right. Well, thank you, guys. And no doubt we'll speak soon. Thanks, Merv. Thanks, Steph.
No worries, man. You travel safe.
Okay. I try. Okay. Okay. Bye for now. Bye.
Oh.
You're missing him, Amanda.
I am my partner in crime, I tell you. This is like the longest we've been apart in 35 years. So
I was gonna say, yeah.
it's really cool. It's really nice to see him. So I'll give him a shout afterwards. Okay. So yes, so where we're at, that's it. Okay, guys. So we are going to make a few changes to how our Zooms run. And it's going to be more to do with how we answer your questions and what types of questions we'll be answering. So what we're going to be doing from now on, we're not going to be doing the live Q&A. We're going to be opening up the chat and then you'll be able to message Merv and Steph while the call's going on, and they'll be answering messages in the chat. If we do think there's anything relevant, a question that's been asked that we think everybody needs to hear the answer to, then we'll highlight some of those. Support questions, we will no longer be answering support questions via this Zoom. We have multiple channels for you to interact with us if you have an issue. Please do use the new ticketing services on Verizon Hub. And if it's Infinity Token, you've got the option to either go through the Hub or through Infinity Mall platform to send us any questions or raise a ticket on any issues that you're having, and it gets resolved. The ticketing system's working really well at present. All our issues are being resolved very quickly indeed. So it's much more streamlined process. So please don't use the emails anymore. Customer service at Verizon Ltd. Don't use any of those. Ebony Villas, Elixir Heights. Just go through the Hub and send us your ticket or an email with your an email with your question or issue, and one of us will get back to you and resolve that for you. All right. So please, once more, don't send any emails. Please use the ticketing system. And we're trying to, streamline everything and get everything in order for when the card program comes out. The ticketing system is really cool because it has got AI integrated into it. At the moment, we are training it. So the more questions you ask us and the more we answer, the quicker the AI learns. And so the next person that comes along, AI can kick in and answer the question on our behalf, which frees up our team to focus on all the other products and services that we want to be launching and in streamlining the ones that we have already. Okay, so if you have sent us emails and you haven't received a response, please hang on. We are getting to you all. As you know, John and myself were traveling for the last month, a few weeks ago for a month or so, and now I've traveled again. So we are a little bit behind with getting back to certain messages, but we are almost there. Okay, right. So as I said, we are going to make a few changes to how we present these Zooms. So it will more be us telling you what's going on, all the different updates, any new programs. You'll get all that information. So have a pen and paper handy so you can write down any questions that you may have, and then you can type them in the chat and we'll answer them for you via the chat. Okay, right. So let's go on now. So we've touched on the new card program. We've touched on the old card program. Infinity tokens. Let's move on to that. Now, Infinity tokens, for those of you that aren't aware, that's the Horizon Infinity tokens. And our tokens are quite different to what's out there on the market. We've looked at a lot of the tokens that are out there, and one of the main things that you see with a lot of these tokens is what we call rug pulls. And that's where you have, these gigantic corporations or big spenders come in and buy lots of a token or a coin. They wait for the market to get to a certain height, and then they dump all their tokens. And that leaves a lot of people in not a very good position. And then they wait for the price to drop down really low, and then they buy back in again. That's what normally happens. So our coin goes against all of those sorts of things, just because of the way that the mechanism works, where you can only hold a certain amount. So we don't get whales, what we call whales. The other thing about our token is it goes up in value by 10% every month. So it's not compounding. So if you've got £1,000 in tokens, the next month you'd see a 10% increase in value. So another £100 on top, and that will continue. Okay, and that's the other real good thing about this token. It isn't volatile like Bitcoin or Ethereum, for instance. Each month you'll see a 10% increase in value. Not only that, as we hit our roadmap and start doing things like building on land that we've purchased and stuff, then that pushes up the price of the actual token itself. So it started off at £20 in our pre-sale, and for those of you that got on board, well done, absolutely fantastic. Then we released our first phase launch, and those are now at £25 each. And then once we hit another step in our roadmap, it will go up, and all this information is on the Infinity Mall website. So do go on there. There's lots and lots of information. There's a white paper that tells you about the tokens, what it's all about, the mechanism behind it, how our smart contract works. All of that lovely information is in the white paper. So it's good bedtime reading. And as we always say, anything you get into, guys, do your due diligence. Yeah, very, very, very important that no matter how big or how small it is, you understand who you're putting your money with. Very, very important. And it doesn't matter, whether you're investing in a pharmaceutical company or buying a crypto token, same amount of due diligence needs to go in it. And it isn't a case of, you just do the due diligence and then get involved and then that's it. Keep up to date, keep following, find out new information about where your money is at. Very important to stay engaged, just because like some of these investments, most investments, there's a time to get in and there's always a time to get out. And unless you're following where you put your money, you won't know those things. So whatever you get into, guys, do your due diligence and keep up to date with whatever's happening with it. Okay, so engagement is the key. So that's one of the other good things about it. The other good thing about our token is it is asset backed. So it isn't people backed per se. The more people holding it and using it, obviously goes in its favor. But what really backs our tokens is assets. So land that we purchase, and then when we build on those lands, if we've got a business on there, if we've got a house on there, the land price goes up, we're earning money from it. So that all backs the token. Okay, so it's the new thing, tokenization. So we've gone through, the crypto stuff, and now we're moving into the world of tokenization. They're starting to put regulation in place for it also, which is a good thing, because obviously we don't want to be in a position like how Binance was just recently last year when they were fined 4.3 billion by the SEC in America. And this is because Binance was operating before the crypto market was regulated. And so a lot of people got into a lot of hot water when they did finally start regulating it. And so 4.3 billion is not an amount to be sniffed at, but that was just their fine. So imagine how much money they actually do make. Serious corn. So literally, with tokenization being regulated from now is a good thing. Countries like Dubai are tokenizing so many of their buildings. So it's a new way to make money on property. So you might not have, the funds to invest in property, thousands of pounds. Well, with tokenization, you can buy bits of a property in the digital format, and that way you can earn a residual income coming in from rentals from those. And because the entry fee in a lot of these things are much lower than the traditional way of getting involved in property investing, you can invest in multiple different buildings and different projects. So very, very, very beneficial. So we do have the Infinity Mall. Mr. Cadet, I don't know if you want to share your screen and just pull that up.
Yeah,
I'll
sure.
just give them. So we do have the Infinity Mall. So this whole token runs in our own platform, our own internal platform. And the Infinity Mall is a ginormous piece of software. Lots and lots of tech behind it. It's a platform that has multiple facets. So we have the marketplace, and that is where vendors will be able to sign up for an account, have their own shop, and sell products and services and accept Infinity tokens in return for the sale of those goods. Now, the good thing for those is that in the traditional way, you sell an item, and whatever you sold it for is what you've earned. But with Infinity tokens, if you accept those as payment, then hold on to them, which is the key, then the very next month, you see a 10% increase. So you've sold the shoes for 50 quid, and then next month you'll see £50 and 50 pence. And then the next month you'll see another 50 pence on top, and then another the following month, and so on and so on and so forth. So you're continuously making money off of the one single sale, which is very, very, very good indeed. So that platform is for professionals, so people with a business that sell goods and services, but it's also for individuals. So if you've got pre-loved goods that you want to get rid of, then you can use our platform and upload those and accept Infinity tokens for that. Now, because we have just launched, the Infinity token does have a lock-in period of 9 months to start with, but you'll be able to see that 10% growth. At the end of the 9 months, you'll have an option as to what you want to do when the wallet unlocks. You'll be able to either withdraw your 10% increase, or you can rebuy tokens, or you can just leave it there to just keep growing. Right, so it's totally up to you. You'll have an option at that point in time at 9 months to make that choice. We have 2 different types of wallets. So we have our property wallet, and that's where you guys have purchased tokens to that gets locked in and tied in with payments on property programs that you've been involved with us with. And that would be Arena Views, the main one. So if you've bought a villa and you're going to be paying off the remaining balance, you can use your Infinity tokens to do that, which some of you have done. Some of you have done it where you buy the Infinity tokens and it pays the rental on your apartment. So it's got so many different benefits. And the way that it ties in with our properties makes property very, very, very affordable indeed, but also gives you a really good start as well, because obviously when you get your property, it needs furnishing, it needs all these fantastic things. And your token can actually help funding those, because as we said, it does have the 10% increase every month. Okay, so then we have the general wallet, and that's just for those of you that want to just hold the tokens because you think it's a really good idea, which it is, and you just want to see that increase in value, and you want to use the tokens within our ecosystem. So inside the ecosystem, we've got a ticketing service. So we've got trading, which is we've got the exchange where you can purchase other tokens as well and hold them in your wallet. We also have the real estate program, where our token wraps in to purchasing properties from us or renting properties. We've got the marketplace, which, as I said, you can sign up as a vendor and sell your products through the marketplace and accept cash or Infinity tokens for the sale of your goods and services. We've got an events section where promoters can upload tickets to their events and accept Infinity tokens, which is absolutely brilliant, because the hospitality sector got decimated after COVID, still hasn't really recovered. So this is a way for promoters to make extra money. So you sell your tickets, hold on to those Infinity tokens, and you continuously are making money on that same ticket sale, which is absolutely brilliant. So that's the ticket side of things. Then we have the rentals. So eventually, once your properties are ready with us, you'll be able to rent them through the platform and accept Infinity tokens. Yet again, you get your rental payment, and if you hold on to those tokens, you'll receive 10% of whatever that value was every month on top, as long as you hold on to the Infinity. So it's like forever making money on a sale. Yeah, it just doesn't end. Then we've got our loyalty section where you literally will receive Infinity tokens for doing certain things on the platform. It gives you access to discounts as well. So a lot of vendors will give you discounts on the products and services just for using the Infinity tokens as well. And sometimes we'll offer you products and services ourselves and give you great discounts if you use the tokens. Governance, that means you guys get to have a say in how the platform works and how Infinity token works. So the more tokens you have, the bigger your voice is, obviously. And so, yeah, that's the governance. Donations, we have a donation section. So for any good causes that we put up on the platform, you'll be able to donate some Infinity tokens towards those good causes. And then there's lots more on the platform. So it's a very big piece of software. Lots happens in there. It's a really good hub for the token. Our smart contract is very well written, and the whole platform is governed by our smart contract. So, for instance, the 9-month lock-in, not even we can go in there. It's locked. That's the end of it. So you know that your tokens are safe. It's in your control. We are going to be implementing a fork around about April time, where some of you have tokens in a wallet and you want to move them to a different one. So at that point in time, we'll be doing that. And even that will be done in a way where it's kind of like a six shard key, where basically 6 people have a piece of a code, and all 6 people have to be there to be able to unlock someone's wallet. Now, some of those people will be from our side, from our management side, and then that would maybe be about 2 or 3 people, and then the other 3 people, 3 or 4 people, will come from the actual community. Okay, so it's all balanced. As we said, you guys get to take part in how this works. Okay, so very safe system, lots and lots to go on there. So guys, if you haven't got your Infinity tokens right now, please do grab some. They're at £25 each, and as soon as we hit our next target, they will be going up again. And as you can see on the screen here that this is what it will be going up to each time we release another set of tokens. Okay, there's 20 million in total supply at the moment, but yeah, this is what's going to be happening. So do read the website, guys. Lots of information, and it's a brilliant token. Really good to get involved in it. If you've been on any of the calls with TFS. Can't talk. I've been doing so much talking today. That's not the right thing to say after the day I've had. But yeah, if you've been on any of our calls, you'll hear how excited Stephen is about this token. He's deployed a lot of different tokens to a lot of different companies, but this one really does stand out for him. And yeah, he's really excited about it. So guys, get your tokens, and if you have already, spread the word and get your friends and family to get tokens also. Okay, and we've already announced to you that we're going to be releasing some other programs off the back of the Infinity token. One of them is our property programs that we're going to be starting off in the USA. There's another one that's kind of like a pension plan, where you purchase your tokens and you just lock them away for a certain amount of time, and you just use that 10% growth to empower yourself down the road. Life is changing, the world is changing, guys. So you need to kind of put all kinds of different mechanisms in place for that time when you retire and you want to just kick back and enjoy your life. You want to have multiple streams of income, not just the one. And then we also we'll be releasing our Cradle, Infinity Cradle, and that's for saving for your children, basically. And those tokens will have a specific lock period, so maybe 16, 18, 21, and maybe 25. And at each stage they get access to the 10% growth that's accrued at those different stages in your child's life, which is very, very beneficial these days. We know how hard things are in a lot of places around the world, and so these kind of mechanisms will help to put your children into a better place when they get to certain points in their lives. Okay, so that's the Infinity Token, guys. So get on board, jump in. It's fun. Radio. Right, so the last few things to give you a little update on, as John said, he's just come from a meeting with the Alcalo, the new Alcalo in CIFO. The last one passed away, and so this new one's taken over. So we've met him a few times, which is really cool. So we're just getting a few bits more of paperwork all tied up. So yeah, we're going to be starting to build the office very soon. We're just waiting for the rainy season to end. It's now ended. We had the last major downfall just before I left the other day. It just rained all day, and they think that's the last one. And then once the ground dries, we need to let the ground dry a bit more, otherwise bulldozers and stuff are not going to be very sturdy on there. So once the ground dries out a little bit more after this last rain, we'll start building the office, and then show homes and all sorts of fabulous stuff will be happening there. Okay, so that's Gambia. In Ghana, as you know, we went and visited Ghana a few weeks ago, and we secured 2 sets of different pieces of land in different regions. One is in Asin Manso, a beautiful place, really, really nice. We met with King there, and he took us to see some land, and yeah, it was a really, really nice experience. Ghana is absolutely beautiful. And then we looked at another piece of land in the Volta region with a lovely guy whose dad left in the land, and his dad's dream was to have, you know, a real nice sort of smart city built there. So when he met us, he thought that this is just a dream come true. The land is like 6 miles by 6 miles. It's huge. There's just land just everywhere. Rivers and streams and lakes and all sorts that are there, creeks and all sorts. So it's a beautiful region. That's the Volta region. The Volta region also has places where they have waterfalls, and there are islands off of that section also. We were also offered land in the Cape Coast as well, which is really quite cool. So there's more than enough land. I mean, Ghana is absolutely huge. So we'll be heading back to Ghana in February to start actioning things out there, you know, getting paperwork pushed through. We were handling that before, but just when we finally get them in February or so, that's when we'll be tying up things and then starting to build out there also. So real good movements there, and that's for Ebony Villas, Elixir Heights and Arena Views. As you know, the applications for Arena Views and Ebony Villas, Elixir Heights and Ebony Villas closed. And so we will be updating the website at some point in time in the very near future to tell you how the new way is to get involved in those 2 projects. It's not going to be as juicy as it was for the guys that got in originally, and the ones that had the foresight and the vision to see what we were doing. You know, these programs are very different, and so we do understand it's like trying to accept something that goes against what's been there for decades. You know, how long have people been buying houses with mortgages and working 25 years to pay for it off? So it is a bit of a job to twist your mind around to something where we're saying you don't need to do that. You know, you just don't need to do that anymore. And so it will be a lot harder to get involved in these projects now, and a lot more expensive. So for those of you that did get on board with Ebony Villas at £450, well done to you. Absolutely brilliant. And it's not a case of, you know, you just bought it and it's a registration fee. Those go into shares. So you're just converting one asset into another. So it's still your money, which is really brilliant. So those are the property programs. They are moving, guys. We can only move as fast as everybody else around us moves. And in Africa, guys, I tell you, sometimes the simplest thing can take a long time, but it will get there. We're working with some guys that can push things through quicker for us than normal. So when our paperwork goes in, we've got guys inside councils and stuff that will push it to the the top and get things moving for us. Okay, so that's the property side of things. What else is there to tell you about? Oh God, there's so much bits and pieces going on in the back that we'll be telling you guys about eventually. And we've got lots of things happening with AI tools and all sorts. Once we've got those all sort of finalized, we'll let you know how those are going. All right. So I think that's basically where we are at with Verizon. I don't know if I'm going to open up chat. Let me just open up the chat 1 second. Right, guys, so the chat is open. If you've got any questions, you can send it to either, well, you can only message myself, Mervyn, or Steph, and we will endeavour to answer those for you. I should have opened it up already. Apologies. Right, yeah. Right, Mr. Kurt, do you want to give them an update on your class for tomorrow?
Yes, I will. And before that, just to remind people, as Amanda said, there was a big wave of token purchases. And as a way to sort of re-verify people's purchases, and this was great because it will action people on the call that have bought tokens to actually get involved in the infinitymall.io site. If you can actually send your evidence of purchase, it's been working well where everyone gets their tokens properly allocated to their wallets, basically. So if your name is Bob and you bought £200 worth of tokens, which is 10 tokens at the original price, if you send your evidence of that to the infinitymall.io support as a question, then basically it's our way to double check that you made the purchase. Once it's verified and approved, then we can allocate the right tokens to your wallet, and that way it saves us time, it keeps us compliant, but also you get the right amount of tokens as well. So that works really well. That was I thought I'd mention that it's quite popular with people sending questions in, and it's working very well, and tokens are getting allocated appropriately. But yes, tomorrow, I mentioned it earlier, but for those that will listen a bit late, again, guys, we did start at 7:30. Oh my watch just stopped. 7:30. So yeah, do make an effort to come on time. Like Amanda said, as from the CEO, we are starting to get a bit sharper. It was very important to engage with communities, and typically on letting people into the meetings, we will let people in the meetings even an hour in. We understand people work flexibly around times, but when we set a start time, and we want to get in, deliver the information, engage, and then go about our business. But again, my meeting starts tomorrow at 8:30. And what Steph and I cover is more about process. So someone jumps on board and says, "Oh, I like the Ebony Villas properties. Can I have two?" What Verizon have done, they've opened the door for that. Now there'll be a new way to engage in Ebony Villas, which will come out when the site's updated. But we'll have an answer for you in terms of getting engaged with that way of working. Originally, people were able to buy their shares, which is theirs as an investment. And obviously, when the card is available in their region, they use their cards. So there'll be a new way of working for those getting involved in the projects, from now onwards for Ebony Villas. So do go through the sites. Again, use the Verizon Hub as a central point to go to and dig deeper. And then you'll find out a lot more about what we do. Again, I will cover the tokens in a bit more detail tomorrow as well and show you how the value's added. And again, like Amanda said, it is asset banked. It's great because it aligns with Verizon's progress in all property development. When we're building, in Africa, for example, for the first few years before we go to, other places, everything we build backs a token. The token inflates. People are using the token. They use it on our Arena Views platform. They buy clothes, they sell clothes. It's very much a currency within that, Arena Views ecosystem. So I'll cover that tomorrow in more detail. Steph, do you want to say anything more about what we do on a Thursday?
Yeah, I'm just replying to a message just now.
Okay.
I'll come back.
No worries. Brilliant.
Thanks.
Yeah. Like I said, it's more about how to, guys, because obviously you're seeing information on the site at the moment. So if you want to get involved in the various systems that we offer, and software products as well as the property. We can go into a bit more detail tomorrow. But use the Horizon Hub as a tool. Again, I'm assuming people have been, invited today. So work with the person that invited you. Again, they will have a little bit more experience. They'll know a lot more. They'll let you know what they liked and what they got involved in, and that will help you again come with questions for us tomorrow. But don't rush. We are here again next Wednesday and Thursday. So you'll have information shared with you over time, and that way you can get more and more shared to you. So yeah, no, Steph's doing a chat with some people. So let's have a look. Okay.
Excellent.
All right. All right. Brilliant. I mean, Amanda, I'll kick off. Someone's just asking about the link for tomorrow. So Melvin,
Okay.
thanks for that question. I mean, quite simply, again, go to the Horizon Hub. There is a section from memory, it's called events. So scroll down the Horizon Hub page. Now we can show it, couldn't we?
Yeah.
Let me go ahead and show that. That's a great start.
So while you're saying that, guys, you have seen in the last few weeks lots of changes on our websites. We were upgrading everything for the launch of the new card program. It's a lot of different changes. Horizon Pay looks different. My Horizon card, and we've got the new Horizon Hub. So all Arena Views, they've all been having a real good upgrade. You'll see all our new information. Some of you might have been on the call when we had Danny the Idiot on here, and pointing out all kinds of nonsense, and that we were in the middle of changing anyway. As you guys know, we've just come back from Dubai from registering our company out there. So we are now residents of Dubai, and our company's registered out there. Great tax breaks out there, guys. So if you do have a business and you really are looking for something like that, do check out Dubai. It's absolutely amazing. They take business very serious out there, and their image is very important to them indeed. So it was really good for us to be able to go out there and do that. So you'll find all that new wonderful information. We've also got new offices, new registered office in the UK, and that was basically our old partner in bank. We were more virtual, and they didn't mind us having a virtual office as a registered office. But now our new partner, they do prefer us to have an actual physical office space, which we have now, and that's why you would see that our registered address has been changed for our UK entity. Okay, rightio.
Cheers. So to answer, I think it was Melby's question.
Yes.
Again, it's a good start because it's good for everybody. Go to Horizon Hub, and even you can scroll down, but again, you've got these menu options. So by merely clicking on events, the fourth option, it jumps down to the upcoming events page. This is where you can get the link for tomorrow's meeting, which is here, weekly sign up class. So you simply come to the site, click on join event, and then we'll let you in. So Melby, hopefully I've answered your question.
Excellent.
Well, is the chat open now?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amanda's opened
No,
it,
I just had a message come through on the Mia WhatsApp saying it was closed. It's
Okay.
still closed at 9.
No, it's open. We've got messages coming through.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you see it, Steph? If not,
It's not open for everybody. It won't appear in the same way, guys. You can only message myself, Mervyn, or Steph. Okay. So you'll send. We'll receive your messages and we'll either read them out like Mr. Cadet just done, or we'll answer you via the chat. Okay, if it's something more sensitive.
brilliant. Okay.
Excellent. Perfect.
Look.
Rightio. So as you can see, guys, we are moving. We can only move as fast as all the partners around us move. We can only move as fast as, you know, the FCA would like us to move, or when we eventually go back into the USA, the SEC. We're under a lot of regulation, guys, and it's very important for us to comply with that. If we don't comply with regulations, then obviously we run the risk of not being able to exist anymore. And so that's not an option. Most of these platforms that people are on crashed out, and they were in a space that wasn't regulated. And when that happens, there isn't really much recourse. And that's why it's important to us to have this entities here in a space where you do have recourse. That's very, very important to us. We're here every week. You can see the transparency. We do what we say we're going to do. Sometimes we can be delayed, but it gets done. All right. So we are moving nicely. Okay. So
Amanda, I've got a couple of questions I can go through quickly.
Okay.
So let's have a look. So Karina's asking, did Amanda say about our token will be put into the correct wallets in April rather than January?
Right, so we're looking to do a fork, and it would be sometime in that period, either between January and April. It would be before the 9-month unlock, and then you'll have the option to tell us exactly what you want to do with your tokens at that point in time. Okay, all right. So we'll keep you updated with when we're going to be doing that exactly. All right.
Brilliant. And there's an inquiry about how the one-time program will work with people that are involved in properties.
The one times with people that are involved in properties, it depends on when they came in and what deals, because we offered different things at different times. So if you've got a question about that, go to the Horizon Hub, raise a ticket, and we'll answer that one for you. And you just need to give us a bit more information, your name, and then we can track you yourself and see when you signed up and what we were offering at the time. Okay.
Got a question about Ebony Villas, Amanda. So once the building of Ebony Villas has started, how long will it take to complete, do you estimate?
Well, it depends on each phase and how much people still come in after, we've relaunched the new look Ebony Villas and how you can get involved with that. For those of you that are already on the program, we're aiming for you lot to have your villas within the next 24 months. So we'll be building out throughout that period of time. And so the later you came on, obviously the later your home will be ready for you. But when we head out there in February, it is with the intention to get things moving, start getting grounds cleared and things getting erected, which is going to be absolutely amazing. You guys are going to absolutely love Volta region. It's a lot closer to Accra. It's about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on traffic, 2 hours away. So it's not that far away, which is much better. Asimanso is a lot further away. Asimanso is about 3 miles, but if you've got traffic, then it can 3 hours, sorry. If you've got traffic, it can take a bit longer. They have a stretch of road where they're redoing the motorways in Ghana, and instead of leaving the original road that was there, they dug that up. So now you've got all these lanes of dirt road, and oh my goodness me, it's 36 kilometers of unfinished road. It's just the worst. But we will be doing something in Asimanso. It might not necessarily be Ebony Villas, just because of the distance. If they start to finish off the road, because they were doing the roads and then they had a change of government, so that stopped all the works going on there. So if they do start doing it again and they pull their fingers out and get a proper road going down, then we'll start looking at Asimanso. But for now, we are more looking to focus on the Volta region. That's where our radar is kind of pointing at the moment, which is really cool. Ghana is a fantastic place. It really is. You guys are going to love it. It's huge. It's just absolutely huge. So yeah, that's pretty exciting. Really looking forward to going back there. So yeah. Okay. So
yeah, Amanda, I know on the My Horizon site, My Horizon card site, that people can't complete the KYC. Do we know when that will be fixed?
Yes, we're just working with the KYC company, almost done. They had it set to quite a high, it was very sensitive. So we're just getting them to sort of we're tweaking it so that it's not so sensitive, and people that should be passing will pass. AI can be a little bit, very, very, very stringent indeed. It's either yes or a no type thing. So the good thing is that we have a lot of control in that side of things as well, as opposed to our last program. Okay.
I got a token question. So the question is, when will we see the first 10% increase in the Infinity Mall?
Right, so it depends on when you opened up your wallet. So it's normally 30 days. after you've opened it, you should start to see the increases populating in there. So each person wallet was opened at a different time. So it's 30 days, the first month after that, whatever day your wallet was opened.
Right, I'm just double checking what I'm going to reply to this question. Someone's forgotten their login, and it's not just either or, it's both their login and password.
Okay.
I was going to suggest they create a ticket.
Yeah, they can create a ticket. That's the best way to do it, and then the relevant person will answer them. Any issues, guys, just use the ticketing system. Forget the WhatsApp, forget the emails, use the ticket system. It's working really well.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. As I said, we are training the AI on the hub. And so all of these questions will go into its memory banks, and it will remember how to answer them the next time for whoever else has the same issue.
Okay. Amanda, I've got another one. How can we see recordings from this meeting?
Right, so what will happen is when you receive your newsletter, then at the top, before it goes into the details for the next meeting, you will see a link to the previous week's recording. Okay, so that's all good. We haven't done it in this week's one, just because we didn't have a real good meeting last week, but you'll find this recording in next week's Zoom link. Okay.
Someone asked, can they use the property wallet to purchase Infinity tokens to pay for Ebony Villa's monthly fees of $19.98? My reply was that at the moment, the tokens are only linked to the Irene Views project.
Yes, that's right. And the $19.98 is more the account fee. So you wouldn't be able to use your Infinity tokens for that. What you could do is you could use your a general wallet. You could open a general wallet and buy some tokens. And eventually, once that 9-month period hits and you have access to that 10%, by all means, yeah, you could use the 10% growth on that to pay your monthly fees on the card. That's not a problem at all. Yeah, so you'd need to be able to withdraw it and then move it over to the card app. Okay, so yeah, it is possible.
Okay. Amanda, how does someone get involved in the newsletter email distribution?
Right, so normally if you've signed up to any of our programs, you should automatically be in one of our email lists, depending on which program you signed up for. So if you signed up for Ebony Villas, we would have captured your email address and your details, and you would automatically start receiving the newsletter. If you signed up to a program and you're not receiving our newsletter, then literally go into Horizon Hub and send us a ticket, and we'll take a look at your account to see what's going on, to see if you are actually in the system. And if you're not, then we'll add you in, and then you'll start receiving the newsletter. Okay, so at the moment, guys, the newsletter is more being focused on, links, but that's why we want to streamline everything that we're doing. Operating this company takes a lot, and there are a lot of departments. Our eyes and hands and ears have to be in so many different directions 24/7, and so that's why this ticketing system is very important, because it's helping to streamline our whole team. Merv, Steph, myself, John, all the other customer service that we have involved, is helping to streamline that, which allows us to focus on other things that we think need tightening up. Okay, so look out for a lot of changes. So eventually our newsletter will start to just include, news, information, some midweek updates, things like that. Maybe some information on what's happening in the financial world. So you'll start to see much more engagement in our newsletters. All right.
Brilliant. I've got one. It says, I will be in Ghana in February. I'm so excited. Which city did you mention in Ghana, assuming their property is being built?
Okay, so the Volta region, so VOLTA, Volta region, is where we're going to be looking to start Ebony Villas. It's yes, a beautiful piece of land. So basically any project that we're really kind of doing can go on that one piece of land. I mean, it's 6 miles by 6 miles. There isn't much you can't do there. So we're looking at possibly culminating, you know, all the different projects. So Elixir Heights, Ebony Villas. We want to do an Arena Views Ghana. And so we'll maybe situate a lot of that on that one piece of land, just in different parts of it, which is really cool. So yeah, Volta region. The other place that we're looking at as well is Assin Manso, Assin, and then Manso. That's the region where you'll find Ancestral Park. It's one of the major ports that slaves were taken away from, and that's where they take their last baths. There's actually two like rivers. They had first one that they go in, and then they'd have the last one, which is of no return, basically. And then they literally take them to Cape Coast, and they were taken away. So we went on to that place, and yeah, it was a really serene experience. We stood in the water, and literally. And they say Africa is poor, but it really isn't, guys. You're standing in gold. You put your hands in and scoop up the water, and there's gold dust in your hand, and you get flakes and little nuggets, and yeah, literally standing in water, and your feet are touching gold. It's beautiful, really beautiful place. And so yeah, we'll be building in that region, and we'll also be doing stuff to enhance the ancestral park. They wanted ideas into how they can, you know, increase tourism and people actually coming. And when we were there, literally we went twice, and coaches were coming in all day long, so people do know about it. But I think it's a kind of place where you need to be in Ghana to sort of know about it. It's not really known on a wide scale, and so we want to try and help them to bring it more to the forefront and bring more tourism in there. And we've got some real good ideas for them that they absolutely love, so we'll be implementing some of those things there for them also. So real good stuff there.
I've got one more, Amanda. Is there a predicted date for the start of Ebony Villas in Gambia?
In Gambia, so we're just finalising things with Arena Views. Once we get that moving, then we're going to start looking at Ebony Villas. We're getting a lot more people offering us a lot more land in different parts of the Gambia. So we're going to go and take a look at some of those also. But yeah, very soon, guys. We just want to start this, get the office erected, and then start on the show home, and then we'll start to get a bit more of an idea as to how things are moving. At the moment, we're trying to get a real good team together when it comes to the construction and the project management. That's very important. That is key. We don't want to get this far and then put, you know, rubbish construction company on board, and then all that time is kind of wasted. So we're looking at some of the top companies that build in the Gambia. Neotech is one of them. Some of you are aware that we looked at Kaloli Sands for Arena Views. Kaloli Sands is an apartment, private apartment resort in the Gambia, and it's got the look and the feel of what we were kind of going for. So we contacted that company, which they are one of the top companies in the Gambia. We've also been speaking to some others as well. So it's just a case of now putting that real good team together. We want to be careful and make sure they're correct. And then once we've got those people in place, we'll get a bit more of a better idea and understanding as to when we will be starting Ebony Villas. All right.
Okay.
Got any questions there, Steph?
Have we lost Steph? I've got a few coming in. One says, Amanda, I have been out of the loop for a few months.
Okay.
Me and Steph heard this a lot of times. I had a previous Verizon online card. Where do I sign up for the new account, or will this be addressed at tomorrow's meeting?
Right, so it will be addressed at tomorrow's meeting, but you can just visit myverizoncard.com, and you can start the KYC process. In fact, I think wait a little bit. We're just sorting out the last bits on the KYC. Give it a week or so, and then try at that point in time. All the information is there, but if you do need a bit of guidance, then you can jump onto Mr. Cadet and Steph's call tomorrow. It's every Thursday, 8 p.m. UK time, and then you'll see exactly how it all works and how you can get on board again. Okay.
Sorry, a loud motorbike was going past and I muted my microphone and I forgot it was still muted. No, what I was saying is that no, Lorna was asking where does she go for the ticketing system. So I've messaged her the link.
Okay, perfect, excellent. Okay, so I've got a question here. Someone about Horizon shares. Yeah, if you do finish purchasing Horizon shares, we do still want you to send the little registration form to horizonbank.com, shares at horizonbank.com, because that's a slightly different system. The ticketing system's more for, issues or problems, but anything like that, please do still send that to Horizon Bank. That's where we will look for the information. All right. Excellent. And
Desmond, okay. Desmond has a question. If I want to inform a small business about Horizon Pay, what is the best way to approach them?
Okay, so it really does depend on the type of business, and if you kind of know them. If you kind of know them, then obviously you've already got that kind of banter out the way. But if it's a strange business that you've gone into, literally, it's a question of asking them, what we do is, how much do you pay for your merchant fees? That's the major question, because what we can do is normally reduce what they're paying. So you can just literally tell them with Horizon Pay, the least said the better. It's one of those kind of things. You just need to give the key points that they can normally beat the price that you're already paying, because we work with over 200 processors. And then it literally is a case of telling them that we also do the 27% cashback, which no other merchant company in the world does. It's unique to Horizon. And so literally, it is a case of saying little and just directing them to the right place. Obviously, you want them to have your MIA number. I hope you are an MIA, because those are the only people that really should be pushing Horizon Pay, because you do kind of really need to know how it works and be able to explain it in a compliant way. Because it is around finances, you do really need to know a bit more information. So I hope it isn't MIA asking that question. But yeah, it is basically about just giving them the basics, telling them how easy it is to get a quote. It literally is a case of uploading your statement, and our AI will spit out a quote for them and give them a reduced price. With the processors we work with, people are very familiar with PayPal, Stripe, maybe their banking service, WorldPay. These are the big players that have been around for a long time. But there are thousands of processors out there, guys, that power some major websites, but you just won't hear about them because they're always in the background. They're processors that have been around for decades, and we work with a lot of these companies. So when people think like, well, who are these processors? These are guys that have been in the game for a long time and often offer a better system than what your bank or Stripe or PayPal is offering to you. So it's a really cool system. There aren't many systems out there. It's almost like compare the market. If you're going to go for car insurance, you'll put in your details and then it will give you the best quotes. That's what Horizon Pay does. Okay, so it's a really cool system. So yeah, the least said the better. Give them the key points and then point them in the direction of the website, and that will do the rest. And then you can obviously stay in contact with them, take their details if they're interested, and that's how we go with that one. So I hope that answers that.
Okay, Desmond, there you go.
Fantastic.
Good. All answers from my side.
Perfect. I'm just going to take a quick look through my side and see if there's anything else. Right.
I have put the link, guys, in for tomorrow.
Right. Okay. So Cliff has asked a good question. Could you explain how Verizon makes their money from the transaction fees by the use of the debit card? Okay. So I can run through that really quickly. I can actually show you a graph. Let me show you a graph. Let me just set that up. Give me 2 seconds. And so I know some people learn things visually rather than verbally. So let's just go back into it. Okay, let me just share my screen. Excellent. I hope you can all see that.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, perfect. So it doesn't matter whether you've got a credit card, a debit card, they all work in exactly the same way, whether it's a MasterCard, American Express, you know, a Visa card, they all do the exact same thing in the background. So you have a few people involved in any transaction using a debit card, and that would be, first of all, the card holder, which would be you, and that would be any card that you hold from any bank that's issued it to you. So it could be a Barclaycard, it could be a Discover card, it could be a Visa card, it could be, you know, lots of different things, but that makes you the card holder. Then you have the merchant. Now, the merchant is also known as a retailer or a trader, and this is any shop or business where you use your card to make a payment. That's the merchant, okay? So any business that you shop with. Then you have the payment processors. Now, these are the guys that move all the money around, okay? So when you use your debit card in a supermarket, these are the guys that will come in and eventually they'll move the money from your account to the supermarket's account. Okay, so these are the payment processors, and these are the guys I was just telling you about. That there are thousands of them around the world, all offering different things, all kinds of different features. So many of them out there, but we all kind of bypass them because they don't come up with high enough rankings in Google. But these guys power some major businesses out there. So that's your payment processor. Then you have the credit card network. So this is either credit cards or debit cards. So that's MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express, you name it, all those card companies, they are the credit card networks, okay? And then finally, you have the issuing bank, and the issuing bank is the banking institution that gave you, the card holder, your card. So for tonight's example, let's use MasterCard because that's the card we're coming out with soon. And let's use Verizon as the issuing bank. So the credit card network is MasterCard, issuing bank is Verizon. So whenever you walk into any retailer with your Verizon card and you get to the checkout with whatever you've purchased, and you hand over your Verizon card, once it hits that card reading machine, whether it's contactless or you need to put it in and use your PIN number, or you use your Google Wallet or your Apple Pay wallet, then literally that machine sends information. So what it will do is send information of your transaction to the payment processor. Now, once the payment processor receives the information about your transaction, they will send it to the credit card network. And then once the credit card network, which is MasterCard in this case, receives that information, they will send it to the issuing bank, which is Verizon. Now, once Verizon receives that, they will check the information. We will check that, number one, you've got enough money in your account to pay for your for the goods that you've just purchased. We'll check that the details of your account are correct. And we will also check for fraudulent activity. So occasionally AI will kick in and say, hey, this person was just in Timbuktu yesterday, but now they're in Shanghai. Something that might be a little bit fishy here. So those are the sorts of things we look for. If everything checks out and we're happy, we will send an approval notice back to MasterCard, who will then send that approval notice back to the payment processor, who will then send it back to the merchant's card reader machine, and it will say approved to remove your card. Okay, now that's how a transaction works. And it doesn't matter whether you're using a debit card or a credit card, it follows the same process. And that process happens in a matter of seconds. Okay, now, how do we make our money? Well, whenever you use a card to make any payment, whether it's online or on ground in a real world store, the merchant that you shop with has to pay the card network a fee. And that fee is normally a percentage of what you have just spent. Okay, so once the credit card network receives that fee, they split it amongst themselves, MasterCard, the payment processor gets a little fee, and also the issuing bank gets a portion of that fee also. So Verizon gets a portion of the transaction fee that the merchant has spent. And that's called interchange. It's called merchant fees. It's got a few different names, but it all means the same thing. Okay, so we make money every single time you use your card to purchase goods and services, or if you use an ATM machine, money is being generated all the time. And this is why the banks that you currently are with are worth billions, because every single time you do a transaction of some sort, that bank makes money. There are banks out there, the big banks, the major ones, they make money just from you holding money in your account. Yeah, which is why they promote saving. Because the more money you have in your account, the bigger interest they hold, so, or they gain. So their interest is for you to save. Is that in your best interest though? We all know that, you know, the richest people on the planet don't save, they invest. Yeah, so if you want to become one of these people that, you know, are financially free, then you need to follow the mechanism, follow what they do, and that is to invest. Saving is a way of depleting your money, because the more you save in the bank and for the longer you save in your bank, the more inflation kicks in, and your money is worth less. You know, so this year, you know, you might have been able to buy, you know, a bag of rice, butter and cheese and eggs with £10. Next year, you might be able to buy a bag of rice, butter and cheese. Where's the eggs gone? You know, the following year, you might be able to buy a bag of rice and butter. Where's the bread gone? You know, so this is what happens when you save. Your money is actually depleting. So it is actually an oxymoron, you know, save money. It's actually depleting as you're doing that. So so this is the sorts of things this is how Verizon makes its money. And as we said, we're always very transparent, and that is how any transaction works, whether you're using a debit card or a credit card. So I hope that helps. I hope that explained that for you, Cliff. And for those of you that didn't understand, you know, how these cards work, that's exactly what's happening. And this is why, you know, you can go through Heathrow Airport and see HSBC sponsored everywhere, because literally these banks are making serious amounts of dough. Serious. Excellent. Perfect. Okay. Just going to have another quick check, guys. See what we have. Right, okay, let's move on to this. Have you guys got any questions there that you think are relevant?
All good on my side.
No, nothing else has come through.
Oh, sorry. Bradley had a question. Sorry, just about other areas to build in. So, is there any updates on building in Namibia, Zanzibar, Zimbabwe, etc.? Don't worry, Bradley. Excuse your spelling.
we will look at those places eventually. We just want to get the places that we originally stated solidified, and then we will start to look. Sometimes we might need to chop and change a bit just because of the climate. So, for instance, in the Gambia, you've got Yahya Jammeh threatening to come back and take over Gambia again. And then you've got the opposition threatening him, saying, you know, if you step in here, you're going to end up straight in mile 2, which is a prison. And so there's all of that going on. Now, obviously, Yahya Jammeh had, you know, supporters, real staunch supporters, but they also had a lot of people that didn't like the way he governed the place. So that could destabilize things a bit. So we watch out for things like that. So we might be looking at a region now that is pretty stable and it's all great and good, but then something happens there which would make us look at another region that possibly wouldn't have those issues. So so yeah, but hang tight. Just want to get these ones, you know, moving, and then we'll start looking at different regions. We were actually looking at Namibia years ago to go and live there. But yeah, that'll definitely be, we want to look more at the southern end of Africa and see what's going on down there. There's some beautiful regions. So yeah.
That's it.
Excellent.
I have no more questions on my side.
Right, I've got quite a few over here. Let's just see. Can you store crypto at this time? In the on the Infinity Mall, yes, you can. Yeah, the Infinity Mall is open for business. We just need to start populating it. Okay. Let's just make sure, is there any locations you're gonna, right, okay. Okay, so we're more or less answered everybody else?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure what time Rita came in, but she's got her hand up. Rita, if
Any
you're able
questions in
to,
that way, Rita? If you can use the chat and message Mervyn, Steph, or myself, or just post it, just type a question and we'll get it and we'll answer it in that way, Rita. Okay, we're making a few changes to how we run the Zoom now.
Amanda, we got Gwyneth, and Gwyneth is asking, how can we buy into another property project? So I think you might need some more details.
Yeah, we might need a bit more details on that, Gwyneth. Actually, Gwyneth, you've direct messaged me on WhatsApp, and I need to reply to that today. So while I reply to that, I can reply to your message there. So if you add that to your WhatsApp message, and I'll reply to you a bit later on. Okay. Right. Okay, so Murphy, if you can raise a ticket in the Horizon Hub and just pose your question, and we will answer that within 24 hours. You'll get a response to that. If it is about putting tokens into a wallet, it will get dropped into a wallet. All right, so if you can please answer, sending a ticket via the hub. All right.
I got Karina asking, is there a new timeline for when the arena will be built to hold concerts?
Yeah, no, we're literally just waiting for the land because this is the first rainy season that we've experienced. So we wanted to see what the land is doing. And so we're just going to wait because we just had major downfalls. I think it was on, what day did I leave? Saturday? Friday. Major downpour on Friday, so the ground has gone soggy again. So we've got to wait for that to dry out a bit. So what we're doing right now is just studying the land, and then that will determine when we start building and what we start building and how. So hang tight, and we will give you a bit more information on that very soon, Karina, as to when the arena will be up and running. Excellent. Right, so Honeylicious said if you had Bitcoin on an old account, what happens to that balance? Was it be included? Yeah, so if it was USDT, yeah, that's not a problem. So any of those funds will be just put into the slush funds, as long as anything that was under £100, and then we'll redistribute them to you. So if you had $8 of USDT, you'll receive that, whether it's in $8 or in USDT, into whichever account you tell us to put those into. So yeah, just let us know if you just raise a ticket eventually, and then we'll let you know exactly what's happening with that once we get that solution all in place for you. But we are working on it. Shouldn't be too long now.
Amanda, I've got Mark here. I think he's got quite a detailed response. Basically, in what district are you building in? Because there's apparently 18 within the Volta region, but do you know which district?
No, I'm not off the top of my head. I do apologize. I will try and have that information for you next week. Okay. And that's one of the things that we're going through right now with them, a lot of the paperwork and stuff. I just know it was in the Volta region. So yeah, we'll when we get certain paperwork through, it will tell us exactly what district, or we'll get the information beforehand and have it for you. Excellent.
Pam T had some funds in the old Horizon X account. How do I access these funds?
Right, so that's what we're saying to you. So at the moment, we're looking at putting all those funds into the slush fund, and then we'll be redistributing them to the actual owner, but into whichever account you nominate for us to send those funds to. All right, so join our Zoom next week, because I think Stephen's going to be talking with them this week. Literally, hopefully Wednesday, we'll have a bit more of an update for you on those funds. All right, but we are working on those currently. Thanks, Pam. Thanks for your understanding. We are working on it. It is to do with policies of moving small amounts of money. So we're having to make the old partnering bank do stuff that they wouldn't normally have the mechanism to do, which sometimes means creating a small piece of software to bridge gaps and move things around that shouldn't normally be moved. All right, but we are trying to work on something, and it might be as simple as just them putting it into a bank account under our control and then us redistributing those funds. Okay, right. I think we've more or less done everything, right?
Yep, just answering a couple of people. Okay.
Mervyn, also, you may have come in a bit late after the announcement was made.
Me, Steph, I'm here.
Oh, Mervyn. No, there's Mervyn's got his hand up.
Mervyn. He's messing about. He's messing about.
No, I didn't see Steph.
So Mervyn, apologies, but we're no longer answering questions live open. If you can use the chat and send your question, type your question in, and we'll answer it for you. Either we'll type a message back to you, and depending on what you've asked us, or we'll say it on the call for everybody else to hear if it's beneficial for everybody to hear. All right, Mervyn, thank you. Okay.
Well, they've gone quiet on my side.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. And yeah, that's totally fine. Thank you so much. And yeah, Melissa has done a lot of damage, and there's a lot of people going through it right now. I'm actually with my cousin at the moment who's putting together a barrel for family out there as well. So yeah, we are doing a bit to help as much as we can, which is yeah, sad. It's hurricanes are not a joke. They really are not. So I hope your family's okay. Rightio. I think we've kind of done it.
We're good. Yeah. The class is tomorrow. People know to use the Horizon Hub to send in questions. So, yeah.
Excellent. Perfect. Right. Thanks, Adam. Really do appreciate it. Okay, so guys, literally, there's lots happening in the world of Horizon. There always is lots happening. As you can see, John's not even on the call today. He's had a whirlwind of a day today. And so last week we weren't able to attend because we were, in the middle of meetings as well. But next week we will both be on the call to give you an update again. And hopefully at that point, the card program will be out in the world of testing. And hopefully there isn't too much bugs and we get it tested really nice and quickly. So we can roll it out to you guys in the UK. We want to try and get that moving before the Christmas period kind of kicks in, so that we've got time to, kind of play around a bit and get a bit of downtime as well during the holiday season to, make any changes that we need to when it's a bit more quiet. Okay, so that's what we're really looking for in the next few days or so to get out there. Old car program, as we said, if you do have funds on there, guys, please don't worry. Your money is safe. You just need to find a mechanism to get it out of where it is now and out to you in an account of your choice. Okay, so we are working on that mechanism right now. Ebony Villas, Elixir Heights, applications have closed for that now. And for those of you, as I said, that did get on board on the good deals that we were offering, well done to you. We really do appreciate, you seeing the vision and understanding what we're trying to do. Horizon is, although we're a financial technology company and we put out all these different apps and all these different projects, it's not about money for Horizon. It really isn't, guys. And I really want you to understand that we're trying to create something that is ethical, something that is fair. There's major organizations out there, that can change how things work on a large scale overnight, literally overnight. And it's not being done. There are too many people comfortable in the systems that we've been using for decades. And it's very hard when you offer them something new, for people to see the benefits of that or for them to even trust it. because they're so ingrained in what's already been out there. You know, we're all brought up, you know, to, you know, own a house, maybe have a car, you know, go on a few holidays a year, have a good job, and you're doing well. You know, and the way to get to those things is in a particular order, and you use particular methods and strategies and things that are tools that are available to you. But things are changing. With the dawn of, you know, fintech, it was unheard of to pick up your mobile phone and move money around. And a lot of people didn't engage with it at first. I mean, even debit cards and credit cards, it took a while for people to actually think, okay, hold on, I can have this piece of plastic and my money's on it type thing. So it took a while for people to get engrossed in that. That was the beginning of like the digital age, when they started handing out credit cards and debit cards. Because at that point, you don't need to use cash, right? So all of these things are leading up to a cashless society. There are so many things that have come in even your smartphone, mobile phones. We didn't have them growing up. There's no such thing around. Then we had these big clunky things, you know, with the aerial. Then they got a bit smaller and a bit smaller. And as they got smaller, more tech started to be integrated into them. Now most people couldn't survive without their phone. It's unheard of. You know, it's unheard of to not have a website or some sort of social media presence anymore if you have a business. So there's a lot of change happening, and Verizon wants to be at the forefront of those changes, but in a way that benefits us and benefits you. That's very important to us. There's more than enough money to go around. As the numbers grow and as we grow, there's more money to go around. There's more ways of us using our money to empower you guys, as well as ourselves. If Verizon's doing well, then you're all doing well. And we'll always continuously push out products that push the boundaries. And we're about, you know, taking things that are already there and just tweaking them. There's no need to break the straw in the camel's back. It literally is just about just tweaking things like Verizon Pay. We do the same thing that companies do. Yes, sweetheart.
There's one more question in the Zoom.
Okay.
Sorry, in the chat. Hello there. When is dividends being paid and how will we receive it?
Right, so dividends will be paid as soon as we finish launching these products. It's always been a case of we need to get moving. Verizon needs to be in real profit before we can pay out dividends, right? So we just need to get this new card program launched. We are behind where we should be, due to the regulations that were brought out last year. It really had a major effect on us. We had a partnering bank that it really did affect them, and that was a knock-on effect with us, which is why we've moved to the new partnering bank that we have now, and we're about to launch these new cards. So we just need to get Verizon stable, and then we'll announce and we'll start paying out some dividends. And it should be, you know, at some point in time in 2026. At that point in time, it will more than likely, it will go into an account of your choosing. It could be your Verizon account, or it could be another account that you have. It could be in crypto. There's many different ways. It could be in Infinity tokens, which is actually pretty cool because then it goes up by 10% each month. So there's going to be different ways for you to be able to accept that.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sweetheart. Yeah, so just before we go, guys, I'm just trying to explain to you guys what Verizon is about. We are literally about change, and change for the better, fairness, sharing, community. That's what we're trying to create here. It's too many people in this sector and in a lot of sectors. Most people get into business because it's about making money. John and myself have never approached business in that way. We offer services that people need, and we always operated in a fair way. You know, even when we used to be in the property game, the way we do it is we gift deposit to clients. You know, we'd put carpet in the house for them, the brand new house. We'd find them a tenant if they were renting it out. We do all these kind of things to give them a service that is different to what is already out there, but is beneficial. And a lot of the times it helps people that wouldn't normally have access to, you know, investing and then getting involved in things. So that's always going to be a feature that you'll see with Verizon, especially for you guys that have been on board from the get-go and, you know, have jumped on and got involved with all the different projects. There's always going to be something that we offer you guys first. You'll always get really great deals. So the more you engage with us, the more we offer. And it gives us pleasure doing that. So Verizon is all about community. Any business out there is about community, but they just don't tell you that. And the reason why they don't tell you that is because that mechanism is what makes them money. And most people don't really understand it. Any business out there that you use, you become a member of their community. So if you take an example of Santander with 164 million customers, I mean, can you just imagine that, guys? Now, I gave you an example. Every time you use a debit card in a supermarket or online or wherever it is, in a bar, a club, restaurant, doesn't matter where, anytime you use that, those banks make a small percentage. So you can imagine 164 customers using their cards every day, because most of us use our cards every day, whether you're at home lounging about, watching movies, you might feel like ordering something from Uber Eats, you use your card. You know, you want something down the road quickly, you might stop at the petrol station, then you'll go into the supermarket and you use your card again. So that's twice in one evening. Or you might be going to work, you use your card maybe to buy your ticket in the morning. You maybe then use your card to buy lunch. You use your card to get home. If you stop off on the pub on the way home, before you get home, you'll use your card there. Some of us are tapping our cards and using them at least 6 times a day. You know, so when you start adding up that sort of money, you start to see that these banks are making millions. But then the question is what are they doing for you? How does it actually benefit you? And yeah, I hear all that, oh, but I get air miles. Oh, but I get... It's a drop in the ocean, guys, as opposed to what they could really be doing for you. Trust me. Yeah. So it isn't really about... I get air miles or, you know, I get a small cashback. That doesn't make a difference in anyone's life. If I give you one person, you know, £100 cashback, it's £100 and it might make you smile for the day. And by the end of the day, in an hour, you can blow that. Just go on Amazon and buy a few bits and pieces and it's gone, right? But if I gave 1 million of you £100 each and you were all part of a community that does things together, now what can you do with £100 million? I guarantee it buys more than a few things off Amazon. Yeah, so this is the ethics of Verizon. This is the thinking of Verizon. It's more herd mentality, moving together, doing things together, merging together. This is how conglomerates are grown, guys, are made. A conglomerate doesn't become a conglomerate because they started a company and they just continued with that company. It becomes a conglomerate because they start off with this company, they get a foothold in, and then they start buying up lots of other smaller companies, lots of other smaller ones, and growing and growing and growing. This is how Microsoft, all of these people operate. Yeah. So if I'm in the Facebook space, actually, there was a piece of software I was going to buy. It was like facial mapping software. And this was a few years ago for one of my children. They were doing a project. And we looked at a piece of software and we thought, oh, that's a reasonable price. Let's get this software. 2 days later, we went to buy the software and it was no longer available. And that's because Facebook had purchased the company and shelved the product because it went against it was direct competition with something they were trying to launch themselves. So what they do is they'll take bits of the software that they like, use it in their new software, and they also bring along that company's customers. So it's not only growing the company itself or their product offerings, it grows their customer base also. So this is how conglomerates are made, guys. Yeah, it isn't about one person starting a company and they just grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it and grow it. No, they swallow up smaller companies along the way. So community and herd mentality does the same thing because we're not only harnessing the community itself, it's all the skills you come with. It's all your talents. It's all your hobbies. All of those things get involved in it. You know, so if we need someone who's familiar with, you know, a particular piece of software, we can drag you in and you come and do what you're doing. You know, we might say, right, guys, we want to do this project over here. £50, please, everybody. Project gets done overnight. This is how quickly we can move, but we have to have the mentality of moving together. Yeah, so that's what Verizon is all about. So for those of you who are new and really don't know much about us, that is the ethics. That's the base, the foundation of Verizon. And you'll find that when you look through all our products, there's always an element of sharing there, always. Okay, so Mr. Cadet, Steph, unless we've got any other questions, I think we can wrap this up for tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, all good.
Just told the chat.
Yes.
It will continue.
There is one more question
Steph wants to
on
share.
my side.
Go for
Okay.
it.
Hi, I received an email on the 4th of November from Ebony Villas community to complete the activation of my account. Is this valid?
It's 100% valid. So when you sign up for Ebony Villas, if you signed up to the community, we would need to activate it on our side. So you receive an email and then you just need to activate your account and then your Ebony Villas community profile is active. Okay. I have a question.
Diane?
I've got one question. So Diane, I hope that answers your question, sweetheart. It's 100% genuine, sweetie. Bradley says, what's a pub? So for our American friends, a pub is a drinking place in England. I think he is, because they'd call it maybe, I don't know, a bar or something. So yeah, you'll find them on most corners of streets in England, and they're called a good old pub.
And the owner or the person who runs it, they call him a publican. So I think they've just cut it short now.
That's correct. Pub is short for a public house, and a public house is a drinking place, so a bar. Yeah.
Can even be your house, Bradley. It's a public place. Oh wow.
Okay. So that's a pub, Bradley. I hope that gives you a bit more insight into the English language. English. Perfect. Excellent. Perfectamundo. All right, guys. Steph, Merv, as per usual, sterling job. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you guys. Really do appreciate you being here every week. For those of you on the call that want to go a bit further or want a bit more information, Mervyn Cadet and Steph Bryant have a call tomorrow, 8 p.m. UK time. So you can go onto Verizon Hub, click on events in the menu at the top, and it will take you to the events section. And you just click on tomorrow's date on the
8:30.
Is it 8:30? Oh my God, I do apologize. 8:30 p.m. UK time. Sorry.
That's okay.
Which is 4:30 p.m. EST, isn't it? Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, my time.
Okay, excellent. So you can jump on there, guys. It's more of a relaxed call. Merv and Steph will walk you through all the different platforms and how you can get involved in them. Okay, very beneficial call because they do have give you other information also. Excuse me, my jumble talk. It's been a very, very, very long week. Lots of traveling and lots going on. So I do apologize. So yes, thank you ever so much, guys. Next week you'll see John and myself back together again on the same stream.
Amanda, can I just say to you, I mean, it's honourable that you've come here. I mean, I know both you and John are on it as well, but to come here today, you came over for a reason without putting all your business out there for, a special day for you to go attend a funeral, but for you to give everyone an update in person is just showing how you are as a true community person. So yeah, I hope you get some rest and thanks for making it today.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that. No, you guys are important to us, and we will always try to, it will have to be something real big that keeps us away from speaking to you guys or giving you an update, or we're just not in a place where it's suitable to do. Because John and myself are always up and down. We've got hot foot. We're always there somewhere. But yeah, no, we will always try our best to get on these calls, guys. As Verizon grows, obviously, our responsibilities and workload will get a bit heavier, but we will always try to engage with you guys, whether it's in person or on a Zoom at some point in time. All right, so that's the difference with Verizon. We love engaging with our customers personally.
Brilliant.
Excellent. So, with that said, guys, thank you ever so much. Have a fantastic evening, wherever you are in the world, or great night. It's nighttime here now, so almost 10 p.m. So, yeah, wherever you are, thank you so much for joining us again. We really do appreciate you spending the time, and we'll be back here next week to give you the new update, and hopefully we'll have real good news for you. All right.
And an early-ish night for you.
Yes. I've got a bit of work to do first, and then I'll look to get a bit of an early night. So
yeah, get some rest.
Thank you. Thanks, Steph. Thanks, sweetheart. Everybody,
No
have a great evening, and we will speak to you soon. Thank you all.
Take care.
Have a good day.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Ready.